Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the reunion, rebirth,
resurgence.
Yeah, that's a big word. I like that one. The resurgence.
That's right.
Kind of like insurgents, and I ain't got no insurgent friends. Of Dads on Wrestling.
That's a compound word for all you grown folk out there.
I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, or at least I was last time I checked my wallet.
And last time I checked my underpants, I was Jeff Meacham, who is now running this show on his channel.
Woohoo.
Woo, which means Jay's and I responsibilities. You can
That's
do what the fuck
right.
you want.
I can just sit here and talk wrestling the corner phrase.
I'm wearing
That's what you did there. You're wearing the shirt.
Oh, fuck, I'm
You're my nerve herder.
And I'm Pinky, the camera woman, so.
That's
Fuck
right.
hi.
You're not nerve herder. You can't use that word.
Oh.
You can't use that word.
Why can I use
Because
the word?
you're not scruffy looking.
Oh, I'm not scruffy looking.
That's right.
Yes,
But
sir.
we are.
Right.
That's right.
But that's not right.
And we are here with the return of the show. Talk about a list that really caught my eye, and it's very rare anything at WWE.com catches my eye.
That's impressive.
But Lord knows we should talk about it.
Mm.
Especially with WrestleMania this Sunday.
On the
Yes.
horizon, if you will. And I don't mean the Horizon Center or whatever the hell that place is called in Chicago.
The Rosemont
Horizon.
Horizon.
There we go.
Asshole. That's in suburban jackass.
And we're not talking about Vertical Horizon, who had like one or two shitty songs in the late 90s
Hey!
and 2000s.
Well, couple.
And that degrades a good name of word shit at the end of the day.
That's right.
Right.
All right. We're going to talk
The
about...
only thing good about them was they had Tiffany Amber Thiessen in one of their music videos.
As
Right.
it should be.
As they
it
should.
be. Because all about the...
That's the whole reason I bought that fucking CD was because of the song.
Asshole. I like them.
But no video, so you can't hear her. So.
I could imagine the video playing in my head. as I
Ah,
listened to the
so we
song.
got the Kelly's dancing up in there. Got it. All right, very good. Use that
Lord.
word, you.
Time out. Anyways.
Oh my god! Yeah, we're back. Okay. All right. This is supposed to be an emotional moment here. 'Cause We're
Okay.
talking about the top five. in no
We're
particular
bringing
order.
an emotional moment. We're bringing joy and laughter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joy and laughter. It's not even Christmas.
Right.
Or the other holidays, you know. It's
Yeah,
just,
holidays,
It's
folks.
just Wednesday, whatever. Or whatever day I upload this shit.
I don't know what the hell it is.
This is the top five, according to WWE.com, no particular order, most emotional WrestleMania moments.
Oh, buddy.
Now, when you think about WrestleMania and you think about moments that make you emotional, it's not just the ones that make you boo-hoo and cry necessarily. It's just the ones that tug at the heartstrings. Just really just make you just go, oh, with the feels. Yay. Or really sad, like, oh, damn, that should happen.
That's right.
And most of these are, oh, damn, that should happen.
But there's a couple that are the Walt Disney classic happy ending.
And there's one that is that I don't agree with ever happened in the first place, but we all know about that. And if you know about the list I'm talking about, you know where I'm going with that. But we're going to talk about them in order of when they occurred, because the list basically is a video playlist on WWE.com, and they're famous for that shit.
Yes.
But I'm going to list them, and we're going to talk about them in the order in which they occurred in the span of history.
So WWE.com jaded this and did it in no particular order.
Right.
Damn, why did I bring the cripple?
Because he
It
gets
was
late
a
for
happy
everything.
feel-good moment. The show's back.
Circle of life.
Dads
Wow.
on Wrestling is back on my channel, and we gotta bring up why you gotta start shit.
Because it's truth anyhow.
All the feels just gone.
Thank
dude.
you. We're gonna get the feel good moments back. Go ahead and start. WrestleMania.
WrestleMania
7?
7, yes, 1991. My first WrestleMania I ever saw live on pay-per-view, and
You
going.
didn't even see all of it.
I didn't see all of it because during the Hogan Slaughter WWF title match, yes, it's the WWF
Yes.
title match, the feed cut.
Indeed.
And we're calling Palmdale freaking cable company like, the fuck, y'all? Where's my pay-per-view? I had to find out from Fred Rogan that Hogan won the title back.
Boo.
If you know who Fred Rogan is, you're better off. Okay. Anyway.
We're all better off.
I'm going to hell. Okay.
You're
Anyway.
in hell.
Going into WrestleMania 7, there was a career-ending match at stake between the Macho King, Randy Savage,
Yeah.
managed by Sensational Queen Sherry,
Yes.
against the Ultimate Warrior,
Mm-hmm.
both of whom should be in the Hall of Fame. One of them is going in this Saturday.
Amen.
And the Warrior won, and the Macho King was left defeated. And
Arguably one of Warrior's best matches.
Yes.
one of his two best matches, absolutely, because there's him and Hogan too. And the fact that Hogan had to carry somebody to a match says a lot about the Warrior. I'm just
Anywho, I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about Warrior when we get to our predictions of the Hall of Fame
we're
show.
talking about Hall of Fame and WrestleMania later this week. Yes. And as Savage lays in defeat in the ring, Sensational Queen Sherri, who had lost her meal ticket, or so we thought, because she did reunite to DiBiase that same night.
Correct.
Decides to kick the Macho King, now the Macho Man again, while he's down. Starts beating the bloody pulp, and out of the crowd, out of the heavens, if you will, comes the lovely Miss Elizabeth, Macho Man's former manager, and really his love of his life. Let's be real.
Yes.
And she rushes to the ring in heels, so props to her for rushing in heels.
Yeah. Just the barrier.
Talking with Elizabeth! No!
What did he just say? What?
Miss Elizabeth with clear heels. No!
She wore black pumps, you ass.
Hey,
You are no longer her guy. No.
Miss Elizabeth that came out with the NWO was rocking clear heels. I'm just...
Bad Renegade.
Almost 10 years later.
Bad Renegade.
Stop.
She is the first lady of wrestling.
91 to 96.
She wasn't wearing the clear heels in 96.
No,
she was
she
still
was
anti-WO. She was wearing the colors she was anti. Like 97, 98.
So don't you dare disrespect her.
91, she was the first lady of wrestling. You stop.
Bastard.
No nerf herder for you.
Meanie.
You just scruffy looking.
You just rude.
Still mind your fruiter.
Asshole.
Oh, you might get it back later. We'll see.
Asshole.
Damn it. Anyway, Liz whoops ass, knocks Sherri out of the ring. Savage gets up, brushes her off, the fuck?
Who the hell is that?
And they get a look in each other's eyes, and you see Elizabeth's face just melt in this ridiculous, goofy smile.
Yeah.
And they rush each to the ring, and it's the hug forever.
Yeah.
And then you put her on his shoulders. It was beautiful. It led to the marriage made in heaven at SummerSlam.
Yes.
My first pay-per-view I ever got on video.
Yes.
And even at 8 years old, which makes me younger than y'all, I boo-hoo. I boo-hoo to this day when I watch it because it's so beautiful. And one of the first real moments that really got my attention in wrestling. Now, I will grant you newbie status because you didn't come in until 7 years later and watch this, but I'm sure you've watched it on DVD over the years.
VHS.
Oh shit! Look at you pulling gangsta status
Woo!
on me.
VHS, nigga, VHS.
Did you run down the street at the Freak United video down there?
Goddamn right.
Damn shit.
When I couldn't borrow videotapes from freaking Mike and Bruce, I was at the United Video Store, Bellflower and Del Amo, which is out of business now. 92 cents for a fucking rental, with tax made it $1 flat.
Which shows you how long he's been here.
Damn.
For the record.
Ever.
That's right. And that video store was like my floodgates. That was my WWE network when I first came in. Because I was able to fucking rent King of the Ring 96, Survivor Series 97. I had both those on the same videotape.
Did you bootleg that shit?
Damn right.
Pirate video.
I was fucking trying to learn my shit.
Good. I like
Survivor
that.
Series 96 and Rumble 97, the whole Sean Sid thing. I had both those on the same tape.
Nice.
That was where I would go. Fucking SummerSlam 97 I got from there. Fucking Hunter and Cactus, The Cage.
Nice.
Mankind, The Cage.
Yeah.
The Dude Love reveal.
Yeah. And then Taker Brett was on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But SummerSlam 91 you got down the street.
Yes.
And what were your initial impressions of that moment in time?
We're talking about WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 7, yeah.
You said SummerSlam 91.
Did I? I'm sorry. The marriage is
Okay.
SummerSlam 91. And that was beautiful too, except for Jake St. Roberts with the snake in there. Take your opinion.
Watching it on tape, even though I wasn't watching back then, I was able to feel the emotion that Mach and Liz had in the ring that night. And although I didn't cry, my first tears of wrestling wouldn't come till much, much later, November 2005.
That's part of
I
this
could
countdown.
I could feel the emotion in that moment, and even I kind of awed a little bit. Just a side note, I have to say, the Match Made in Heaven, Match Made in Hell SummerSlam that you alluded to probably provided for my best signs at a wrestling event ever. Raw just after SummerSlam 04, Honda Center, I went with a Match Made in Heaven sign with a picture of Randy Orton and a foam World Heavyweight Championship belt on the sign. And then Match Made in Hell, Kane and Lita pictures.
Damn.
So even though I was still a newbie, you could obviously tell I had done my homework, because here we were coming out of SummerSlam 04, 13 years later, and I was alluding to that at Raw.
Well played, sir. And now we have a cameo of Dads of Wrestling from Pinky.
That's right. First one.
Hi.
I'm sure this won't be the last.
No.
As a 15-and-a-half-year-old watching WrestleMania 7, my first WrestleMania.
Baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were a kid. I was going on 16.
She
I
was 16 going
on 17.
She had Noah's beeper number. I'm just saying.
Really, I actually had a beaver number at that time. Anyway, I cried like every female did, and there is some news that you gentlemen may not know. The tears, the girl in the front row that they show after the hug and everything, the strawberry blonde, that's an actress. The people crying in the audience were actresses. They didn't.
We figured it.
Yeah, they were crying.
That's
But
Vince at his finest, right?
exactly,
Right.
Vince at his finest. L.A.
Way to kill the moment, Vince. Way to
Just
kill the
saying,
moment.
just letting you guys know. But for me, it was beautiful because Liz was there when he first became Macho Man and going through his career. She was there when he dumped her flat on her ass, and she was there again when he, supposedly lost the retirement match. To me, that signified she was going to be there regardless.
In storyline, she was in love with him from the beginning.
Yes.
It's too bad Vince can't get actors, his WWE superstars to act like that in their movies.
Oops. Oh.
Just saying.
Shit.
Except for Cena Legendary. That was good.
Cena Legendary was all right. It was all right. Come on now. So.
One.
All right,
So yeah,
let's
I
see.
cried. It was beautiful.
Okay, the next one is one I don't agree with being on this list, but whatever.
Is it number 4?
Just say it.
It's
There's
number
no
4. There's
particular
no order.
Okay.
WrestleMania 22.
Okay.
What?
Rey Mysterio winning the World Heavyweight Championship.
Boo!
Now,
Okay.
No. Okay. I understand why it's on this list because he did it for Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
But but at the end of the day, compared to a moment like Liz and Randy,
That was ridiculous.
let me finish my point, then you can chime in. I'll let you chime in. It's my goddamn show. I'll let you chime in, okay?
Our show.
Our show.
This
Sorry.
isn't the Jeff Meacham show.
Sorry, my channel, whatever. It felt manufactured. Completely and thoroughly. Regardless of whether I like Rey Mysterio or not,
Yeah.
let's be frank. At the end of the day, Rey Mysterio became World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania because Eddie didn't.
I agree.
And the fact that having Chavo and Vicky come out there and endorse him on stage, the whole thing felt manufactured from beginning to end.
I agree with you on that. And while it's still manufactured, it's just as manufactured as the strawberry blonde in the front row crying for Mach and Liz.
Right.
Take the manufacturing away from it, and whether I like Mysterio, don't like Mysterio, agree with the belt, disagree with the belt, you can't deny that that wasn't emotional. That was his best friend that he lost out of nowhere.
Right.
Eddie had beaten his demons, and we thought he was on the road to a long career still in the WWE, and he just dropped one day.
Right.
And whether the belt should have gone to Rey or if they were going to do it should have gone to Chavo really is irrelevant, because whoever had been in that match raising that belt for Eddie, it would have been the same emotion.
And I think I can appreciate it on a purely just Rey as Rey level, if I even want to do that, because this little 5'3"
Oscar.
Yeah, well, not Rey as Oscar. I'm talking about Rey Mysterio, the character, 5'3",
I'm putting the
155 pound little underdog winning the big one. That's a moment in itself.
Yeah, I'm willing to even put the character aside and look at it on a level for Oscar.
Okay.
The man, for those of you that don't know Ray's real name, Oscar, the man who grew up and traveled the roads with Eddie, and Eddie being as a friend, more like a brother to him. I'm looking at it from that emotional aspect. Forget about the character of Rey Mysterio Jr. and the character of Eddie Guerrero, who just months before he passed had been feuding over the custody of Rey's son, and that horrid angle.
Yes.
And look at it from the emotion of Oscar and Eddie.
All right. I'll give you that one. Yes.
I personally believe, and I could be wrong on this. Me personally, the only reason why Ray got the title was because Eddie passed.
Well, yeah,
We all agree
I've
with
said that for
We're
almost
not-
10 years.
Yeah, we're not taking that away, and
Right.
we all feel that way. But
I
put
still
that
feel
to the side for a moment.
I can do
And
that.
like I said, and look at it from Oscar
The
and
man.
Eddie as friends.
Exactly, brothers growing. Not necessarily
Whether he
growing
won
up.
the belt because Eddie died or didn't,
Is
or
right.
it should have been him, or it should have been Chavo in that spot, which we all agree if they were going to give the belt to somebody based off of Eddie's passing, it should have been Chavo. And just look at it from the personal emotion of Oscar being given the ball, regardless of the reason, in tribute to his fallen friend.
He carried it well. Don't get me wrong. And they changed the
Exactly.
name from the heavyweight title because he
Just
was
the World Championship.
to the World Championship because of Rey Mysterio.
And he proved with that run, regardless of the reason, that he could be a go-to guy in a clinch.
Very
They
true.
gave him the belt again, had Kane take it from him, cashed in the Money in the Bank
Had a
briefcase
good
the
little
night that
feud
he
with
won
Kane
it.
over it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Had a nice view with Kane.
And then they even gave him the WWE title when they did the tournament because
Right.
Punk had left.
Correct.
Granted, Cena took it back from him the same night, which
But-
just made it even more stupid. But he proved during that run that he can be the go-to guy in the clinch, much like Foley was. Foley talks about how he was never the guy to take the ball and run it in for the touchdown. He was the guy to gain a few yards and then kind of run out of bounds.
Right.
And that's a good play to have in your book.
Indeed.
Rey Mysterio was that type of champion. Carry it for a few yards, run out of bounds, let the next guy get his shot with it.
I agree.
All right.
Okay, I see that.
And now we move to the Shawn Michaels part of the program.
Oh,
That's
Jesus
right.
Christ.
Because
Featuring
Shawn
Hell in
Michaels
a
is Shawn
Cell.
Michaels, the rest of this damn list.
Listen, may as well just call this the top most Shawn Michaels emotional moments and shit.
Featuring Rey Mysterio and Randy Savage.
That's right.
Featuring Hell in a Cell.
All right, the first one. True story. It does. You're absolutely right.
Oh my God, really?
It does.
I
Yeah.
didn't even, oh my God, I didn't even know that.
We'll get to that in a minute, but End of an Era is on here.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Cool.
Okay.
I'm awesome.
All right. First one is one that really hits home for me. Really hits home
What?
for
Because
me.
you
Come on.
were there.
Because I
Talk to
was
me.
there.
Come on.
Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 24, the career-threatening match, the match that technically ended Ric Flair's WWE in-ring career.
Yes,
Yes.
technically.
We
Technical.
thought was going to end his full career, but then he got
But, yeah.
divorced and
Needed
needed to
money.
make alimony payments.
Had
he
me
had to go to
crying for no
TNA and
reason.
promote it.
Motherfucker.
So he had to go to TNA and wrestle again.
Yeah.
Now, for me, this fit every single part, as manufactured as it was, because it's wrestling, whatever.
Yeah.
But every single part of this, the minute I found out I was going and knew that we were leading to Ric Flair and retiring at WrestleMania, I was jonesing. More so than seeing Undertaker live with my dad. More so than seeing the Hall of Fame. More so than any of it. I was going to see Ric Flair's last match. And if there was a dry eye in that 70-something thousand people at Citrus Bowl, I didn't find it that night. Just unbe-fucking-believable how real and raw a grip of people became over the loss of Ric Flair as an in-ring performer. Just, I dare say, it wouldn't have been the same even if it was Hogan for me.
Right.
Because Hogan had such a bad fall from grace once he left the WWE in 2007. Because let's be fair, his TNA run. But now that he's back home, all is well. But
Yawn.
I know.
Next.
Ric Flair having to retire just struck me down like a ton of bricks. And there will never be another greatest of all time. And the fact that he's not wrestling in WWE anymore, which he shouldn't be at his age, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But the fact that it actually was over, it was just like, fuck. My dad cried.
I know.
My dad cried. He never cries.
I know.
Except when he's on the cuff.
Deserving.
Yeah, definitely. We said for 45 years, damn it. Yes. Yes.
It was an absolutely beautiful moment, and the 5 famous words in the English dictionary. I'm sorry. I love you. What the hell? I wasn't supposed to cry. That's some bullshit. And to see Sean just break, I'm like, oh God, his hero, his idol, the reason why he got into this business. Let's think about it in an emotional sense from Michael Sean Hickenbottom's side of things here. His idol, the reason why he got into this business is in the ring across from him at WrestleMania last match when he accepted the Hall of Fame induction the night before. He gets to go out in front of 70,000 people, including you were there for that. You and your dad were there, and put on a performance of a lifetime. Let's just call it that too.
That's the best match of the night.
Yes,
No question.
best match of the night. I'm not
Even
even
Flair, 105 years old. I mean, seriously.
Thank you. Flair can have a match with a fucking broom and make the broom look good. But that
Put the
match
broom over.
was... Thank you. Put the broom over. But it was absolutely beautiful, and I bawled.
Unlike Hogan would make the broom job.
Thank you. Job hard. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't supposed to cry because I'm not a Shawn Michaels fan. But I am a Ric Flair fan to a point. But to see that match and to see Ric Flair still get up after the beating he took, I'm like, oh my God, just stay down. Please, whatever you do, don't get up. Please don't turn around. Oh my God, it's a super kick. Son of a bitch. And it was over. Night after, you have Ric Flair saying goodbye, and the cameras start rolling, but everybody knows what happens. Taker comes out, Shawn comes out. Batista's mad at Shawn Michaels because he retired his friend, which starts a new rivalry. That match set tones for a lot of things that happen to come.
Renegade has absolutely nothing to say now because Pinky said it all.
Damn.
Oh,
That's it. On Dad's on Wrestling.
That's
love
right.
you.
Yeah, whatever.
Love you. I'm sorry.
Seriously, I think he's like.
She said just about everything
I'm
that
sorry.
there is to be said.
I'm
All
sorry.
right, well,
I'm sorry.
the next one definitely involves romance, so we'll let her talk after the boys talk.
Damn.
Damn, that shit just happened.
You just
Listen, the next 2 matches have her man.
I know. Well, and
Why don't-
next
So
one-
she has to pick one.
Yeah. You gotta pick one. Streak versus career, end of an era.
You can only talk about one.
That's right.
While she's sitting there trying to work
End
it
of an
out.
era.
by
End of an era. End of an era.
Okay,
End of an era.
okay.
End of an era.
So Streak versus career. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 26, 2010. Once the rematch was set and once the stipulation was raised, like, yeah, we know what's gonna happen. But it didn't make it any less hard for the Shawn Michaels fans to take, I don't think.
See, here's my thing about this one.
Okay.
And y'all can call me a dick if you want.
Okay.
But after Shawn Flair, after Shawn Taker won, this match was nowhere near as emotional
I will agree with
either of those other 2 encounters.
I agree.
that. I will agree with that.
Especially Shawn Flair.
Mm-hmm.
When we had Shawn Taker won and Taker damn near busted his fucking neck diving over the top rope,
On his knuckle.
there was reason for a rematch, but there wasn't reason for a rematch. Shawn even talks about it on his Mr. WrestleMania DVD.
Mhm.
That should have been it.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen that part yet unless you've gone and actually watched it all somewhere else now.
Nope.
Oh.
But he actually talks about that on his DVD. He's driving home with Rebecca, and he was like, I wonder if that should have been it for me. Because there is no perfect match, but in his mind, that was as perfect of a match as you could have.
I will, and I've seen pretty much every Shawn Michaels match. I'm not going to toot my own horn a little bit, but
Toot, toot.
yeah, double.
I was going to say, go with Lauren Anderson on us.
Yeah. But that was the greatest Shawn Michaels match I ever saw, WrestleMania 25, and that WrestleMania sucked a big fat donkey dick at the end of the day.
Yeah, pray
But-
to God 30 does.
Better, loads better, heaping loads better.
30
God.
needs to be on the level of 20.
Well, we will talk about 30
Yeah, I know.
in a couple of days. But, that match, you're right, it should have been it. And what they tried to do at 26 just didn't measure up in emotion or in match quality.
No. It's like, you want to talk about manufactured.
Yeah.
That one I don't feel belongs on this list.
Okay, and we'll talk about what can replace it in a minute.
I know you feel the Mysterio one doesn't deserve to be on this list. I feel Shawn Taker 2 does not belong on this list.
All right. Now, one match I think we all saw, most of us saw next door, definitely belongs on this list.
Yeah.
The end of an era, Hell in a Cell match, WrestleMania 28, The Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as guest referee. Anything that's happened with either of them as an in-ring performer since then has damn near tarnished the title end of an era, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely think Triple H shouldn't have wrestled after that. You can argue Undertaker, but I think last year had to be done.
Because of Percy. Right, I understand that. But, you know...
Had he not come back after Punk, Taker would have been a puss.
Right.
And you don't want that to be his legacy.
No, of course not. So, you know... But for me, as long... Because, you know, by the time WrestleMania 28 rolled around, I'd been watching for 21 years.
Yeah.
Not going to be manufactured, not going to be predetermined, whatever you want to call it. It's not real at the end of the day, but you know what? It still means something when a match like this happens.
Right, and it doesn't mean we love it any less. This is our entertainment. I don't go to the movies all that often.
No, exactly.
This is my suspension of reality.
Disbelief, exactly.
You know, everyone that goes to the movies to escape and, you know, become freaking the Terminator or John McClane in Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever you want to be, fucking a Hobbit in Lord of the Rings, however you escape,
Mm-hmm.
this is our escape, is watching wrestling.
Exactly. And for me, watching for, at the time, over 21 years, and seeing two of the greatest of all time, no longer their prime to either one of them,
No.
let's be real, but seeing the two of them just beat the dog out of each other, and Shawn Michaels as this over-emotional guest referee, trying to play two sides between his best friend and the man who retired him, and just bawling in the ring after super kicking the Undertaker, almost ended the streak with his own foot. I sat in that apartment across the way, and I was in bawling tears. I hadn't cried that much since my son was born.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. And I don't get very many feels about wrestling anymore, but god damn it, that got me.
That was a huge moment.
And that whole thing, and like I said at the outset, it should have been what it was advertised to be. And had Paul Bearer, Percy, not passed away, it would have been.
I completely agree with you. I think that Undertaker would not have come back last year. May have just let the streak end with that.
Round number, 20-0, you know? Seriously. End of an era, end of the streak, end of Triple H's in-ring career, end of Undertaker's in-ring career, end of Shawn Michaels being a in-ring performer. All that.
Even though Shawn came back to referee.
Hell in a Cell, but that was a crock of shit. Not a fan of that storyline at all. Whatever. Not what this is about.
Yeah.
But, you know, sitting in the room with you, I know it didn't get you near the degree that it got me. But
That's because something in my mind told me that it wasn't it.
Okay.
You know, we have seen too many times, you know, the Terry Funk retirement speech,
Yeah.
only for him to not retire.
Mm.
You know, we had gone through the emotion of Flair, only for him to go to TNA and wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Which everybody who watches me knows really got to me.
you know, we had seen it all too many times, so how was I supposed to believe, even in a world where we suspend our beliefs, that this was going to be it?
And, you know,
I didn't. That's why it didn't get me emotionally. Not to say it wasn't an emotional moment, because it very much was for Paul and Shawn and Mark.
right.
It was very much an emotional moment for all three of them. And for you. And for thousands, if not millions, of other people that watched it. I won't take anything from that. I do believe it deserves a spot on this list. It just, I didn't buy it.
Right, and, you know, Undertaker coming back in honor of Paul Bearer or not against CM Punk notwithstanding, what in the name of hell was gained by Triple H beating Brock Lesnar the next year?
Nothing.
Nothing. Useless. He avenged his SummerSlam loss in his arm break. Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
He shouldn't have come back for
What
that.
does Triple H need to do to... Why does he need to avenge anything? He's in the office now. Let it be, man. Undertaker coming back is totally justified. His best friend passed away, for fuck's sake. Triple H coming back is useless at this point.
Yeah.
And that's why a big part of me is royally pissed that the stuff with Bryan's going on. It has to avenge Bryan. But
But it didn't have to go on in the first
It didn't have to go on in the first fucking place. It could have
No.
been anybody else in that spot.
Now.
But before, we promised her moment in the sun, but talking about the era. So I don't take it away from her, because I am about to get pissed off in her own house.
Alright.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The voice of Pinky emerges.
Yeah, pretty much. Me personally, everybody knows or should know. If you don't know, then you better freaking do Google me, bitches.
That's how you know.
Thank you. Google me. End of an era, I was fully prepared. I was fully prepared to tell my baby daddy goodbye, ride off into the sunset, you have nothing else to prove. And then Paul passed away. And we all know how I feel about that, but he had to avenge Paul. The end of an era should have been an end of an era for both parties, indeed.
And Shawn Michaels.
And Shawn. For the simple fact that the first time that Triple H and Taker met, Taker could barely get out of the ring. Matter of fact, he rolled out of the ring, sat on the apron, and just dropped. Yes, Renegade.
First time Taker and Triple H fought was 10 years prior when he was a biker.
I'm talking about as far as this era is concerned.
Okay.
I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people forget about that match.
You
and
cannot forget about 17.
I didn't think that you would exclude that, but when you said the first time they faced,
I'm talking about in this era, but the first time they faced, Taker beat the bejesus out of him from having to help pivotal post in the damn crowds of the Houston Astrodome back in 2001. I remember that. WrestleMania 17. Now, as far as this era goes, Taker was so beat up, sat on the apron, rolled out the ring. And if anybody caught that, Triple H is kind of looking back like, oh my God, can somebody come get him?
I killed him.
I killed him.
It's like, I almost got this done. He still beat me.
He still beat me. Almost got this done, and this fool is still.
the dead man.
You bastard!
That's right.
And now you have an end of an era. I was fully prepared. I did see what Taker looked like. I did not want to believe the hair was gone. The hair that I love so fucking much. My baby's in a mohawk. Okay, I think that's hot.
And it's gotten worse since then.
I haven't seen it. I don't know
You'll
what he
see
looks
it
like.
come Sunday live on pay-per-view.
Or on the network.
Or on the network. As far as
Fuck
that
the
goes,
network.
that
Paul
match,
Heyman style.
horrible. Bad Renegade. That match made me cry. And Eminem made me cry. Because I'm like, that's what I live for. I live for the streak. Fuck every match on WrestleMania card, but the streak. It has gotten to that point to me, nothing else matters to me every year but the streak.
Okay.
There you go.
And once the streak ends, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You feel that Taker Shawn 2 should not be on this list.
Yes.
I feel that Mysterio and his moment should not be on this list.
Mm.
I think we can both agree on the moment that should replace it.
Well,
What's
there's a few of different alternatives without going the obvious route that I always preach, which I'll go to last.
Okay.
There's a few other moments that I think deserve a spot on this list.
If we're only going top 5. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it may not have been the greatest matches, which all these matches were phenomenal matches, as well as the moments.
That's right, exactly.
But I think that, correct me if I'm wrong on the year, I want to say WrestleMania 25, Brett Vince.
2010. 26.
Okay, 26.
That's
Excuse
okay.
me.
That's okay.
It happens.
But I think Brett Vince should be on the list. Primarily because it was what Brett always said he wouldn't do in making a story out of the screw job. And the fact that all the Harts were able to bury animosity between each other and Vince to come out for business. That was a huge cap on the Sean Brett hug that started in January.
Yeah, think about the journey from 97 to 2010, how emotional that whole journey was.
Yeah.
Very much so.
That was a very emotional moment.
Yeah, almost the end of Brett's life, the rebirth of Sean's life,
Mhm.
you know, Vince having to come full circle with both of them.
Right.
Just, yeah, I agree with that.
WrestleMania 19, another Vince moment, Hogan Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
The run-in by Piper.
Yeah.
And still losing.
And still love
You know, who made WrestleMania? Was it Hogan? Was it Vince?
Yeah, that for me,
That was a huge emotional moment.
and that for me is the Hulkamaniac was really, because I didn't think Hulk had anything left in his tank. Honest to God, I didn't.
Yet another Vince moment, 17, father versus son.
it. Mm-hmm.
You can't get much more emotional than father versus son.
Right.
And then, of course, the one everyone's expecting, Benoit winning the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And not even just him winning the big one, which we'll get into a little bit when we talk about 30, because I see history repeating itself.
Right.
But Eddie coming out of nowhere and just embracing his friend in the ring. Two guys that were told they were too little and would never amount to anything,
Vanilla midgets, right, Kevin Nash?
hugging and embracing as the confetti fell
Damn.
in the world's most famous arena at the 20th anniversary of the Show of Shows, where it all began again.
And it bothers me to this day that other than the clip on the network video that I can access now, that moment won't be etched in the annals of time on a list like this. Because that leaps and bounds belongs on this list. It's damn near number one, honest to God. And there are a lot of emotional moments. You mentioned quite a few. What do you guys think? What do we leave out? What as a fan? And okay, and I need to make a little.
I was going to say,
Asterisks.
as a fan since WrestleMania 7, can
Yeah.
you think of any that I didn't throw out there? I mean, I kind of ran the Vince gauntlet there.
Yeah.
But, you know, those were all big deals.
Yeah,
you know?
for
I'm sure you can think of something.
You know, for me, and this is purely selfish, the return of Hogan in 2002,
Mm-hmm.
coming back to WrestleMania, coming back to the show that he built, in the only arena at WrestleMania that he lost,
And lost again.
losing again, but finding that redemption with the fans. Because not only did he turn his back on the 1996, he came back in 99 as Red Yellow Hogan WCW, but this is the Hogan that left the WWF in 93 and didn't come back for 9 years. And the WWF fans could have easily shit all over him. But they took him in Chicago. They took him in Detroit. And they embraced him in Toronto. And in Montreal just put the icing on the cake. And for me as a Hulk Hogan fan who never wavered, never once,
Mm-hmm.
even when he turned his back on everybody in 96, I never once renounced my loyalty to Hulk Hogan. For him to come back and embrace the fans again and pose with The Rock. I actually liked The Rock back then, so that was just emotional over the top for me. As far as emotional moments, I'm not sure if it belongs on a list like this, but for me personally,
Huh?
WrestleMania 2000.
'Cause you were
Because
there.
I was there. My first WrestleMania that I attended live. That was, I never, ever thought I'd go to WrestleMania.
It's the way I felt when I went to 21.
I never thought I would get there, and to be there in enemy territory, let's be real, it was at the Fond, with that big old Mighty Duck logo hanging above there. I was like, oh, I'm here. All right, we'll get over that. Okay.
Yay.
And I'm sitting so high, the goddamn thing's like 20 feet from me. So that's how fucking high I was sitting.
You were higher than RVD watching a Cheech and Chong marathon.
Wrestling Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's happened. Sorry, Jeff. Love you. No, I don't love you. That's all right.
Sorry, Rob.
Sorry,
He loves you.
Yeah, I do love you, Rob. Yeah, that's true. In a totally bromance kind of way. Okay. Yeah, being at WrestleMania and just, I sat in that seat and it was just like, I'm at WrestleMania. I'm at WrestleMania. And then, whatever it was, 8 years later, up in the cheap seats again, but with my dad. Not knowing how the rest of the week was going to unfold like it did for me.
Right.
Coming home and being a father within 3 days, like, holy shit. That whole week was emotional. So WrestleMania for me is very personal, and I take this week in history very seriously. Every year. And this year marks the exact days of the week, 6 years to the day that I was at WrestleMania with my dad. So Friday, after the show goes up, is 6 years to the day that my son was born. So WrestleMania ties in with my son's birthday, so WrestleMania will forever hold a special place in my heart, not just because I'm a WWE fan, but because I'm a human being.
Yeah. Now, like you were saying, what emotional moments of WrestleMania do you think deserved a spot on this list? Because for all intents and purposes, it was the fucking Shawn Michaels list.
It was. Featuring Randy Savage and
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
And Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Featuring Hell in a Cell.
Featuring Hell in a Cell. Yes.
Me personally, WrestleMania definitely holds a special place. Like you, Jeff, I never thought I'd get to one, and I went to 21. Didn't know you Renegade or anything, but I was like, oh my god, I'm at Staples Center. I'm at freaking WrestleMania. How freaking cool is that? It was just, it's always been really cool for me at WrestleMania.
I want so bad for all of us to go next year.
That would be awesome.
It's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it that as long as she was a wrestling fan, and I'm not sure where her geography placed her, but that she didn't go to 13 in Chicago.
Right.
It didn't place me anywhere close to that where I can get there.
Or 2 in Chicago.
Or 2, exactly. I was here to 1986. I was 11. I was here stuck at my parents' house.
So, there you go.
And wrestling was not a part of my house.
What moments did we forget? Let us know. Give us show topics because, we can't hook up every week to do these, so we're going to probably end up canning a bunch of these at once. So give us some ideas for shows. We can make up like 3 or 4 topics at one taping.
I really want to keep our WWE's topics. Like, I want to keep some around because
Yeah.
basically we're just punching up WWE shit.
We are right now, but you know what? It's WrestleMania week, as you already alluded to,
and
and
we
we
are
need to
allowed
talk
to.
about WrestleMania.
And we're going to do that on the next show.
That's right, when we give our predictions. So until then, I'm the Renegade,
I'm Jeff Meacham.
and we will see you next time.